What's going on? It's Michael with Walk the Path. I'm here with Cris Smith with Fitnext. We're going to talk a little bit about fitness and his journey. So Cris, tell me what Fitnext is.
Fitnext is a personal training, group fitness, private studio. Basically what we do is we have everybody fill out a health history assessment, goals and objectives form, and based off of that, we tailor workouts geared toward their specific goals, even though they're in a group environment. So anybody looking to get in shape, set goals, nutrition related, fitness related, that's what we cover.
Okay. And so Cris, tell me how you got to this point. What first got you interested in fitness, and what's been the path to get to this point of your life where you now own 3 locations of a successful workout facility?
Well, I'll say I've always been into fitness. Growing up, Little League, football, wrestling, all that stuff. Dad always made sure that we had to play a sport, just stay fit.
Sure.
Build character, I should say. But
What's been your favorite?
What's that?
What's been your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is actually tennis.
Okay.
I didn't mention it, but I never played it. I didn't pick up on it until my senior year in high school.
Okay.
And then I actually got a tennis coach when I got to college. I didn't play, but I just played for, just for recreation. So
Sure.
But next favorite I have to say was wrestling. I did that ever since I was 5.
Wow.
And it's probably one of the hardest sports anybody can do.
Sure.
Definitely total body workout. But definitely I'd say tennis and then wrestling.
Okay.
So, but back to kind of what got me into this, I'd say in college, I was undecided for a while. All right. Started out as an English major.
Okay.
Don't think it's the wrong way, but I don't have to read as much. So I was thinking, English isn't going to be a very good major for me. And then
That's good that you saw that before. Right.
And then we ended up going to computer science.
Okay.
Because I wanted to, everybody's the dream of to design video games and stuff like that. I even had a storyline and everything already set with characters and stuff that I ultimately wanted to do, but then I realized, oh my God, you have all this math you have to do.
Yep.
And math wasn't my strongest subject, so I'm like, this isn't going to work out either. But at the time, I was going to the rec center of Bowling Green State University. That's where I went to school at. And I was taking this class called Funk Aerobics, which is hip hop dance, funk aerobics, F-U-N-K. But at the time, and one of the instructors came up to me and she was like, you should teach this class. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to be an aerobics instructor.
Sure.
They kept pursuing it, and then finally I was like, all right, I'll try out to be an aerobics instructor at the rec center of Bowling Green. Got certified, and I've been actually started out my career as an aerobics instructor.
Okay.
And then I was thinking, I think this is a cool field to be in. So I looked into some of the majors, which I became major in kinesiology, studying human movement, and then also a background in health promotions. So that's why I ended up graduating with. And then came back down here. I'll try to make this long story short. But came back down here, and I worked with Gold's Gym at the time. And of course, they lure you in by telling you how much money you can make on big gyms and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, cool. Come down here, work with them for about 3 years. I say the first 3 months was great. I was there for 3 years, and I did not like the atmosphere at all. Gold's Gym turned into Urban Active.
Sure.
And right when they turned into Urban Active, I decided to branch off and do my own thing. I started training in my apartment. Okay, and that was
so everything was rocking and rolling.
Mm-hmm.
You're with Urban Active, or Gold's Gym at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden you said, "I'm going to go in a different direction." So then you're just starting from there, starting to train people in your house.
Yes. Well, a little bit of background about that. Also, when I was at Urban Active, I was, so to speak, their top trainer in the area.
Okay.
Right? I would train, say, about 150 to 180 clients on a 2-week basis. All right? That's how the pay structure was set up every 2 weeks. And when I decided to leave, I didn't want to try to take any clients with me because that's just, bad business.
Sure.
So when I left, going from 150 to 180 clients, I dropped down to 5 clients. Wow. I started trading my apartment. So I traded my apartment.
So a little humbling.
Yes, very humbling. But at the time, I was trading my apartment and I was thinking, all right, I'm in Cincinnati and personal training is really hard to promote here, I'll be honest. It was at the time. Yeah. And what can I do to promote personal training to make it affordable? All right? Am I going to charge $40 for half an hour, or am I going to charge, something a little bit less expensive? That's how this model came about. What I did was I trained, let's say, 3 people at one time. I was able to fit 3 people at one time in the apartment while I was working. And I'll say, all right, so instead of charging $40 for one session, what I could do, since I'm training multiple people, is I could drop my rates down. I'll charge $20. All right, so if I'm training 3 people, $20, $60 an hour, that's pretty good money an hour. All right, so that's kind of how this model came about, as far as training multiple people at one time, trying to find a way to make it more affordable for personal training. And I'm trying to think. After that, I outgrew my apartment. I got my first storefront over on Main and Liberty, downtown Cincinnati, and just kept growing after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So through that whole journey, what's been the worst part?
The worst part.
What's either been a tough time or just something like, I'd rather not go through that again.
Growing. I love growing, but the more you grow as a small business, the more headache you have to come up with. Not from a personnel standpoint, but from a just keeping up with remembering everything, dotting I's, crossing T's, just like this new Montgomery location that we just opened up. Right now, it's open. We got to get bodies in there to fill the location. It has to start paying for itself, which is fine. It'll definitely pick up, but I think I love growing. This is my ultimate goal. I want to grow. I mean, we're looking at branching off in other cities. After we open up 1 or 2 more in Cincinnati, I'm not going to stop growing. But growing is the hardest thing. I don't want to say, I don't ever want to grow, but I say it's just really tough. Once you get a model in place, then it won't be as hard when you're scoping out areas, looking for new markets. And that was the difficult thing about Montgomery. We've always been downtown in an urban setting. Then we go out in the suburbs, it's a totally different market. We have to figure out how we're going to pull in, housewives, families versus young professionals that live downtown with disposable income. So
sure.
That's what's going on.
If somebody's thinking about doing something, if they have it in their heart, what's been the best part? What can you say to them, like, I wouldn't trade that for anything?
The best part? It's funny because the worst part is growing and the best part, I can say, is growing. If you can imagine that. Because
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, when you think about where you've come from, me personally, working at Gold's Gym, Urban Active, loving the environment to hating the environment, to moving and training in my apartment, to my first storefront, and then hiring employees, bringing in other people, you get to look at that success and say, I put this. It started with a vision, and now you can see how it's starting to pick up. So, if you do have a vision, if you have goals, I think that is one of the things that's the best part, to see that all develop, I should say.
Sure. Now, tell me this, is there somebody that you view as a mentor, or somebody that you kind of look, whether in history or somebody in your current life right now, who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to? I always say this, even though he was so hard on me when I was younger. Probably I have to say my dad. Right now, I'm training him, rehabbing him. He has a knee replacement, and it's funny because now I get to go hard on him, as hard as he used to be on me. But just the things he used to do when we were little to make sure that we would stay successful. Athletics was important. Not just athletics, academics was even more important than that. If you look at me and my brother, out of all of our cousins, we were the first to graduate from college. And I have 52 cousins. The first to graduate from college, and but it was always, it was never pressure to do what he wanted, or what they needed. My parents, it was more along the lines of find something you like to do, love to do it, and stick with it. Never give up, stuff like that. And he's always instilled that in our character, I should say, me and my brother. And I would have to say, I do look up to him. But now I get to take it hard.
You got to keep him honest. Keep him on his toes.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me this: what is one quote or a phrase or a word that kind of describes you, or something that you really like?
If I had to say a quote, and this is at the bottom of all of my emails, and I do refer to it all the time, and I think it's George Eliot, and it says, "It's never too late to be who you might have been." All right, and I think a lot of people, when they get an email from me, especially being in this field, and they see that quote at the bottom, it's like, yeah, I've been thinking about trying to get in shape. They start the journey and then they fall off of it. They start it and then they fall off of it. But then you look at that, then you read that quote, it's never too late to be who you might have been. It's like, there's still always time.
Sure.
Right? Even if you've fallen off the path, get back on the path and try to start that journey again. So that, and then another friend, she gave me a magnet for the refrigerator. It says, life is about creating yourself, not finding yourself. I think you have to create your journey. A lot of people, some people think, yeah, it's good to find yourself. And me, I'd like to think that I worked hard to get to where I'm at, so I kind of created this atmosphere. And let's say if I were to fail, if Fitnext were to fail, I'd say it's all my fault. Meaning, I could sit around and say, oh, business is dead because no clients are coming through the door. Or I could create an atmosphere by saying, all right, I'm going to go out there and find some clients, get them in, work hard to get them in, things like that. So, awesome.
Craziest workout, how about that?
Craziest workout. Well, we do offer a workout here called the Gauntlet, all right? And it's a 2-hour workout, okay? And it starts inside with everything you see around here, all resistance training. The first hour is resistance training. And we do dumbbells, barbells, suspension bands, resistance bands, anything you can think of using the step benches right here.
Okay.
Mini trampolines. But then after that, what we do is we go outside in the surrounding neighborhood, and it's almost like an urban athlon, I should say. Okay. We scope out all the different things that we can use, from hills to staircases to parking lots, just to come up with the last hour of the workout, which is based around cardio. Okay, so it's a pretty intense workout. We like to do it.
I like what I'm hearing.
Yes, we like to do it. We didn't do it as much last year, but this year we try to do it quarterly. So at least get it in 4 times, because it's pretty intense, 4 times a year. And a lot of people usually will have this place packed. I think last time we did it, we had about 30 or a little bit more.
30 people. Okay.
Yeah, in our little small space, so it's pretty good. It's a crazy workout.
Any final advice or thoughts for people out there making their journeys?
Just do it. That's the only thing I can say. If you have a goal, and the worst thing to do is just think about it and write it down, but never pursue it. So the main thing is, if there's something that you want to do, I just say just go after it, do it, and you never know. Just like Fitnext, I never knew that I would be standing here saying that I have 3 locations. I was just happy with training on my own, getting the first storefront, and then now it's 3 locations strong and looking at opening up the 4th one. So that would be my advice.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the time. Again, this is Michael with Walk the Path. I'm here with Cris Smith from Fitnext. If you're interested in training with Fitnext, you can check out one of their locations, their website. Cris also makes YouTube videos that are very helpful for anybody interested in a specific workout, whatever it might be. But again, check them out if you're interested. Otherwise, good luck out there and keep making your journey. Thanks, everybody.